I am dragging. I'm zoned.
Yeah. No, you had a big night, big day. What's going on?
I mean, just yesterday I set up a brand new restaurant. We had just stayed up for like 2 or 3 days cooking an entire beast. Just kidding. It's so much fun. This is all part of the fun of Top Chef.
Oh.
Please pack your knives and go.
Ooh, I'm glad it's not really you and it's them. Better them than you, sir.
Welcome, everyone, to But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio, a Top Chef pairing. I am Jeff, your expert for all things food and restaurant biz. With me is our reality show and most things pop culture expert, my friend Sundi, who probably also has some biz of ours. So stick with us. What you got, Sundi?
Not too much biz today. By the time you're hearing this, you are riding the rails across the country with your little stick and a kerchief tied to it.
Yeah.
And I am deep in road trip prep. But before we get that, so this will air Monday night. That means that you'll wake up in the morning and have a fresh set of vintage VPR. And man, this set of episodes is so good. Like Jax goes to jail, Brittany's here. It is so good. So that's Tuesdays and Fridays. There's also a pinned post to most of our socials that kind of runs down the schedule, except we have left London now. Emilie and I have moved from London, and now we are in the Hamptons for the next 2 weeks as we talk about Summer House, packing in all of our ideas to 2 episodes of entire season 10. So I apologize if those episodes are 3 hours long, but come back for that on Thursdays. And then when May 19th rolls around, we will be in the city. And, you know, Emilie is just a lady about many towns, which that kind of makes her sound like a prostitute. But we know
we'll get to that.
she is
We'll ask her about that later.
Yeah. I hope she's not listening. Even though we do know she listens to the Top Chef coverage. Sorry, Emilie. And that's going to be really fun. And I was a guest on Vanderpump Rob's podcast. We talked about Southern hospitality. And of all the shows that I tricked you into doing with me, in hindsight, I feel like I should have tricked you into doing Southern hospitality, either in addition to Vanderpump Rules or something else, because that is really, really heavy focused on the pragmatics of the bar and restaurant industry. So we will talk about that later when we're not on air. But that's the business for now. And we've got lots of new listeners and points across the globe. So I want to say hello to all of those. And find us on socials, especially our friend Jeff, who is a traveler, Chris Stapleton style, and is going to be giving us lots of food content where he is visiting familiar faces across the Carolinas that we have been talking about or wishing we could talk about. So tune in at Take a Pinot Pod at Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. That's where we are. So that is the business of sorts. I say it wasn't really long that I talked for 2 minutes, but lots to keep up with. We are busy bees this week.
Lots to keep up with. Here we are, Top Chef, episode 9, the ultimate dinner party, as I will call it later on, Sundi's Coconut Milk Redemption Tour. We are officially past right here at the halfway mark. At the end of this episode, there will only be 7 chefs remaining. So everyone's strong at this point. It's going to be tough from here on out.
I know I said the sides episode was like perfectly in my wheelhouse, but the mayo episode is for real. Only episode that I feel confident that I could have sat on that judges panel and had an expertise enough to speak to any of this stuff, because man, I wouldn't.
But we're not turning our nose up at whole hog, and we're not really running out of the building if some decadent desserts come our way. We like We like the food, so we'll see.
Oh, for sure. But proportionally speaking, I've had more mayonnaise than I have had whole hog and desserts combined. So just bear that in mind, people, that my bloodstream is probably 70% mayonnaise. My cholesterol thanks me.
Delicious. To catch us up, we just finished Restaurant Wars, as we said. Dwayne has been ready to pull up. She's on fire. Jen and Justin had to both leave us. Seeger was back. We have our battling bros. Speaking of battling, we've got Dwayne and Dwayne combined who are ready to fight all of it. Both of them killing it.
We have a mentioning too. that Dwayne does not have immunity either. Like, we need to, because that was not something that I understood went away. But now everybody is just, you do what you do.
In
So
the
poor old Dwayne.
recap, we needed to remember that. In the recap?
Yes, well, he needs to be hanging out there. That is something, because this is such a high pressure. So just to pile on, the immunity is no more.
Speaking of piling on, we get a little more of the rice pudding nightmare, and then a LCK finale that will send someone back to us. We open up right after the Restaurant Wars judges table is over. I mean, I was, doing a bad job at joking about how tired they are before this, but it's a lot, man. And you can tell it's a lot. Jonathan's, lamenting the loss of his brother, on the show, not beyond. The heaviness of
Yes,
it
he's still
all
alive, everybody.
is sitting in, and then they just are ready for a rest, hopefully. And Kristen and Gail pop into the stew fresh from the judges table. Like, what now? What fresh hell? What god awful news do you have for us?
Mhm. These people are still wearing the stains from the service they
Their
just came
aprons are
from.
still on. They haven't untied
I
their
know.
aprons. Their brown aprons are securely, fully, 100% on, which is usually, I
Yes.
mean, you're going around the corner, you're taking your apron off. So now that's how tired they are. They get some news. No more Last Chance Kitchen. If you're out now, you are out for good, which is rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little.
Which also means there'll be no Last Chance Kitchen coverage for us this week. I wish I should have included in our business, but that means none.
Yes.
We won't be chatting it up this week, and which is kind of a
Don't
bummer.
forget to mention the
Barely
things
got-
we're not doing and the things that we have upcoming also. We need to remember.
In case our loyal listeners are going to hunt for the Last Chance Kitchen, they won't be able to find it this week. Or newbies like me who think.
We'll sneak in a couple wrecks in this show then, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I've got one. I got a good one.
I like this. They try to sprinkle in some good news. We're hitting the road, going to Greenville, which we both love. We love that a lot. And they try to it's party time. No one's convinced. Like, what do you have for me? When you say it's party time, something is up. Cautiously optimistic is the best. Again, Restaurant Wars has been over for a half hour. That's exactly how long it's been.
These people are too tired for optimism, sir. They are nodding off in their seats, trying to just rest their knees, as Kristen said a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
There's no optimism. They're just bracing for whatever shit that Kristen, and the existence of Gail in the stew here is it's always all right, whatever. What's happening now? Just lay it on me.
Lay it on me. Yeah. Also, when she said rest their knees, that was an hour ago in real time. That's where we are. They try to say it's party time, and in comes the party himself, Shuai Wong, with his tiny clap. Ever since he's been on, Brooke and I have been doing tiny claps, Shuai claps around the house. Great guy. Jeff, he is worth going back and watching the whole season for. I'm telling you.
They could not have given this man a take two when he is struggling to get that comically large board through the door. And he's just the big reveal was going to be this really cool former contestant. And he's clunk, 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 clunk. I'm give this man another take.
Any other chef, I'm did that guy sleep with one of the producer's wives or something? What are they doing to him? I'll let him on the show, but he's going to make an ass of himself. I don't know why. Luckily at Shuai, he's so happy. He gives off such positive energy. So I'm great. At least we're getting him about it. He is a wonderful chef. He's been on the scene for more than 10 years now. In North Charleston, he has 2 places, Jackrabbit Philly, King Barbecue. He's fantastic. Can't recommend him enough. Yeah, he has an awkward board, I'd call it. And of course, you can make out the words quickfire on it, which do not help because Anthony just looking laid back as hell. He just has that I see it says quickfire. Now what? Look to him and and I'm yeah, now what? Just give it to him. We've got something coming up. An ultimate, okay, Sundi, this is for you. It's a party. at Sobeys in beautiful downtown Greenville, of all places, featuring Duke's Mayonnaise. And you couldn't be
Yes.
happier to attend this party, I'm sure.
That sounds like a party to me. Like,
Yes.
aside from it being one of the most diabolical things they've ever done to these chefs by making them just like get after it, the idea that every single thing that they do has to have Duke's mayonnaise in it, I am elated because, yes, I've said this before, I'll say it many times. I could eat my own shoe if it had enough mayonnaise on it. So, yes, please,
We're
check,
we're
check,
believing
check.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
I love it.
Mayo fan. We both are. I rep it on my car. I've got a Duke's Mayo.
That's right.
We'll post it. I have a Duke's Mayo bumper sticker on my car even.
Yeah. Well, you and Schwa have the love of it in common because
I
this
don't
man
I don't have it in my veins, literally, as Schwa does. So I guess everything he's touching has a little touch of Duke's in there. The sixth
has
unofficial
to.
mother sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
that's high
really quick,
praise.
Sundi has a question.
Yes.
What
Oh,
are the other 5 mother sauces that
um,
what since Mayo is joining the party? I need to know.
this is like a French classification brought up by like really made famous in modern kitchens going back to like turn of 20th century Auguste Escoffier. He will come up like how kitchens are designed are from this guy. Everything modern cuisine is from him, but it dates back like 70 years earlier, I think from like home kitchen cooks. Like a woman wrote a book or a list of like kitchen rules and it had the mother sauces. So literally most sauces that come from, anywhere in the European area, like all stem from these 5 sauces. Bechamel, which is like a creamy roux, like flour and butter mix sauce. And
Yeah.
you can get tons from that, obviously. Velouté, which is like chicken stock based light sauce, they call it. The beef stock based or like veal stock would be Espanol. And that's where like demi glazes and bordelaise, like big steak sauces come
Yep.
from. Sauce tomate, which is like any, tomato-based sauces, of which there are a bunch. And probably my favorite, the hollandaise, yolks, butter, some citrus, and that you get the grabiche we see later, all kinds of stuff that goes great with seafood. So, and from those 5, they're giving Duke's Mayo the same standing as all those others,
I was gonna
Um,
say, and now Mayo joins this auspicious group as one of the ones. And I'm just telling you, I've been cooking with the mother sauce since I was a teenager. If this is the case, then sir.
We're in South Carolina, so home of it. So that's exactly what we're saying here. Dwayne gets to pick first. She's going croquettes, and I'm just going to say right now, it sounds weird. The way she talks about it and the bechamel base
Yeah.
that we learned about, it
Also,
never sounded right to me. Mm-hmm.
I want to speak a little bit more to the just meanness of the challenge designers. This is not only a quote dinner party
Mm-hmm.
for people, it is a dinner party of 12 of the most renowned and successful, skillful chefs in the area, in which they will have to do this very like high stress challenge and serve to some of the most talented people that some of these folks, have served since they've started this competition. So that in itself, 4 hours of sleep in 2 weeks, just come off the absolute hardest thing that they've ever had to do in restaurant wars. And now you got to make these people say yum. That's a tough way to go, sir.
Before they even know about it, I mean, that's what Top Chef is about, serving these people that are masters, contemporary masters of stuff. They have to fill out the whole cocktail party menu, which sounds fun. Oh, I've got this mayonnaise paste. And like, okay, here's the elimination challenge, a dinner party. So we're going to go in reverse order. Everybody picks it. So, I mean, immediately it's just like, we were done with the restaurant wars. Then you threw me this, and now you're throwing me this.
They have
So
to come up with it right then and there. Like
yeah,
they have to immediately say, "Hey, this is the best idea that my entire life hinges on, and this could make or break me. Let me do it right now, immediately, while my brain still lives 30 minutes ago in the restaurant that we just did." It is so, and I know that part of being a chef is kind of like these really, really intense on the fly decisions. But this just seems like, you mentioned torture porn. This seems like they are on purpose putting these people through paces that is just unnecessary. Were they on a tighter shooting schedule in the Carolinas? Did
It
they just
seems
need
like we're
to
going.
get it
Yeah,
done? Get it done? Because they
It's
were just
going
like,
fast.
there's no
Last chance
rest for the
kitchen's over
wicked.
too. When they're done, get them out of here. We gotta get
Yeah.
moving here.
Can't
We
pay
got
the
a
union. We got to get them out.
quick run through down the line. Did we even mention we did find out Rhoda's the one that's back? By the way, she came in at the end. She got
Oh, yeah.
she got to get her smoked trout in at the end. Sue came back, and then for the dinner party, she's left with dessert. So people are happy to see her. She's happy about one of those things. Oscar sounding like, we are talking about it. He comes up with the analogy. His mind wants to relax, is what he's saying. And I believe that. But then he's telling me a half jug is a half cup. Keep your jug half full so your cup can be half full. I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everything has to be half full. That's all we need to know.
I was like,
Just keep everything half full.
I want to know what this is. I couldn't really tell, but we see what everybody gets. And they are also going with $1,200 for 8 people. So that is tight, really tight.
To feed 12 people. Yeah, to feed 12 people with a seafood course and a red meat course. That is a hard mathematics to sort out.
But they take control of it. Oh, here we go. Rhoda's in now. They're pumped. They're so excited Rhoda's back. Even though she's a beast, she's great to have around. So people are excited to see her. No offense, Brandon, but we're all happy Rhoda's on board here.
Well, I think that there's some mixed feelings. Like, they're happy to see their friend, but they are a little, like, their heart just drops into their butt. They're like, oh man, this woman is about to wipe the floor with us, because they mentioned, everyone talks about the record-breaking wins back to back. Like, everybody's like, oh shit, what's this girl about to do? And her music is so dramatic when she walks in. It's like, dun, 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 dun. And, then she comes in to like much celebration. So I like it. I mean, I'm, of the two, her or twin number 2, she is the deserving winner in my book, I think.
Well, she's there. She's ready. And we get on the road to Greenville, a beautiful, about an hour and a half trip. They're going over the cost. It starts like $150 a person. How do we do this? That's, at least they got to sit. I'm just happy. I'm happy they're sitting. There had to be some sleep in between because it's daytime when they're going. And I'm like, asses on seats. That's what I want to see from my Top Chef right now. This could be an episode. Like, yep, y'all just with a remote in your hand. That's all I need to see.
I know. Now you know why I was so mad about their activities earlier in the season. But bless Lawrence's heart for being the numbers guy who shouts out sort of this like rough thing. It's like, all right, everybody, just plan on like, 120, 150 a chef, because that would have taken all of the mental energy I had left to be able to figure out how much I could spend in that moment. So like, bless him for just like sorting it out, giving people that number to keep in their pocket.
Easy math is what we're liking on that one. We're getting the Greenville Whole Foods, of course. Going, they're talking with each other, seeing what they can share, getting the high dollar stuff first. Every person at every counter that works at Whole Foods is like, you on a budget? You on a budget? Let me guess, you're on a budget. I see what shirt you're wearing. I know where you're from. There's a camera behind you. You're on a budget. I get it. They get done, though, like you said. Lawrence headed it up, did all the math. They are done with pennies to spare, which means, hopefully that's good news for everybody.
Sundi has a question here. And I've made this question before they got to the very end too. But what would happen? Because remember, Chef Jim that we talked to, he says that like once you check out, there's no going back. So when that last person goes through the line, what if he rings up, they have like $20 left? Are they able to go back and pick something up?
Grab
or is
something
that
else.
Just like, oh, okay. So they are able to do that. I mean, they did the math right. They only had 2 pennies left over, but had they been within $15 or so, they could have sent somebody to grab another, like lobster tail or whatever.
If you got $1 left, they're grabbing a piece of candy up there. If you got $2 left, they're grabbing something. Something's they're gonna. all money accounted for with these folks. Absolutely. We see them in their little Greenville apartment, getting to chill, talk on their feelings again. Stuff's getting heavier. I think their guard is less and less up. There's no more like they're still competitors with each other, but they're in it together. It's
They're too
getting
tired
they're
to
too
be beeping.
tired. And a quarter of the people have already really been kicked out of the competition and are back in. So it's a different road for everybody.
Because you and Brooke have sort of kind of taught me how to watch this particular show and with a more critical eye because of your experience with it.
You got
When they
scared.
start showing, when they start showing people and they're telling their really poignant stories about like who's waiting for them at home, I'm thinking specifically of Seeger, like who's waiting for them at home and like what is really riding on this and what it means for them. I'm like, oh, danger? Question mark. Like, are you good? I don't know. We see Seeger's niece and like behind. He's only behind Taylor Swift in her esteem, and I'm like, God, don't do this to us when we just got him back, right? Like, which how I feel about Seeger.
Niece is like just a little farther removed than like spouse or mom and dad. Like it's one more level of relation. So you're like, oh man, we've really getting to know these people. I'm getting to really color in their figure here. I don't want to lose them, but we're like I said, we're whittling it down.
They are all feeling really sentimental too. This like little moment they have together, I think it's kind of got them like in their feels a little bit. So they decide that Sunday supper is going to be the theme here because they're just like, oh man, remember when we could be with our families? Remember that time when we could just like sit around?
Also,
remember when
like,
we have families at home?
What's a Sunday to you right now? They don't know. I mean, Friday, Thursday.
I don't know what day it is.
How about like Sunday is just like it means something to them. Like Sunday fucking supper. Let's do it and chill out.
It's been Friday for like 5 days straight over there. So
and here we go.
But
back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Duke's heavy again. Sunday. Sorry about the coconut milk last time. We're going heavy Dukes.
She's making up for it
in this one.
And so this is a fun little story. So this is where Oscar was talking about what he was thinking about, like making like a tostone. And at that moment, Carla had come in and I'm writing it down. I don't know how to spell tostone. So I was like, hey, Carla, like tell me what a tostone is. Whatever. And she had been to the grocery store. She goes to the bag and pulls out 2 bags of like her store-bought tostones. One was the yucca and one was the plantains. And she does, awesome. And she was like, so this is what it is. And so, cause he talks about his growing up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood with a lot of folks around there. And I was like, look at that. I mean, what a nice little bit of synthesis there, a little symmetry.
Also where Brooke and I used to live. This is a neighborhood we lived in for more than 3.5 years. Yeah.
This
Logan Square, baby. I love it.
This makes what I know happen later like even more upsetting to me because we're having these So
we're not.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I know, but I'm just saying, like, oh man, what are you doing to me? This is what they did to us right here. This is what I was afraid of.
I was afraid of where we go first. We get mayonnaise. First thing they're going to do to it is throw in some capers for the grabiche. I don't know if we need that. That's just me personally.
I don't like capers either. But Seeger says, a deviled egg is just a deviled egg, except when it's a crab grabiche, it's a deviled egg in the French Riviera,
and it should feel like that.
Yeah, if it's got capers on it, you ruined it already, Seeger, but whatever, have at it.
Greenville, kind of the Riviera of Carolina, right? I mean, come on.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
That downtown.
Green Vegas.
Dwayne making me really wonder about these croquettes still, but she's loving it. So that's good. Yeah. And Anthony.
I wrote Dwayne too.
Real. I have Dwayne later. This was pure Dwayne for me. Dwayne comes out. Remember, she has to activate him, I think, by like punching her hand 3 times.
Oh, that's right. That's how she brings him out. Yeah.
And if you want to get Anthony to laugh, I'll give you a good word. You just say gush around him, and he starts giggling. He starts giggling.
Anthony has such a sweet spirit that I just made a note that like if I was in a mall and I had to rush into you go to the bathroom or something, I could say, "Hey, sir, could you watch my bags? Could you hold my purse for a minute while I pop in?" And I would feel so fine doing it. He has such a calm and sweet spirit about him. I have not seen him get ruffled yet in this competition, and so he is. The little giggle with the ha 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 gush, just that made me laugh too. Like whatever. whatever games he's playing, we know they're not talking dirty to each other when they're sitting around their Magic the Gathering game or whatever it was.
It's also the way he, it's Warhammer. It's serious. It says hammer in it. Yeah, he's real tee-hee about it. It's great. Jonathan looking like a Warhammer, standing over his pot, trying to give it a holler to a cookmaster, which is, I've been there. Sherry, twist on the twice
broke the grinder. Wait,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
forget he broke the grinder.
well, it
Trying
just
to give
gets
everybody
hot.
tips.
It's just he's gotta give it a minute. It'll get there, yeah. Hopefully.
But trying to give everybody tips.
I don't know about Sherry. It's like the beef tartare makes it sound good, but twist on a twice bake, 20 minutes seems a while.
Yeah, and then I start to worry too because you guys have put worms in my brain about how to watch. I start worrying about duplicates here because they explicitly said no duplicates. And so whenever Seeger's talking about a crab
Yeah,
for
no
beef,
repetition.
and then when Jonathan's talking about a BLT, I'm just like, ooh, yikes. And then there's like lots of talk of tartare. I'm like, oh no, y'all. Well, this is not going great. This doesn't seem good. Doesn't forebode good things.
No, we see him struggling too. Like Anthony's worrying about time. Jonathan's barely grabbing bacon. Almost had a LT egg, not a BLT. Almost got that B right out of there.
Yeah. They're getting pressed for time. All of the poise that they were trying to perform in these early episodes out the window. They're like, I can't. I don't have it in me to pretend. I got to get after it. Meanwhile, out there in the damn cocktail lounge, people are just drinking, and it's 10 o'clock according to Gail.
Yeah, we got plenty of folks repping South Carolina food. We got from Charleston, the Callie's Little Biscuit folks. They do like biscuits, pimento cheese, crackers, dry mixes.
Yum.
We have 619 of 1865, Sun Bar, the place where we are. Just like you said, kind of intimidating crew, especially for having just got to Greenville. I bet they were starting to feel kind of confident, up in Charlotte. But yeah, we see them in the back struggling, like I said. And so remember last week, they were all joking about when you go to your prep guy and they're like, I'll get it during service. Don't worry about it. Guys on the line trying to prep for dinner during service. Well, that's what they were trying to do. And they got caught doing it like, hey, remember when we said we were going to do some of our dinner prep while we're doing our app prep? Well, here comes the end of their app time, and they have not even thought about what's going on for dinner, unfortunately. So they got caught in their own little web. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I get the joke now because I was like, they are running around like Speedy Gonzalez with their legs, running before that they can get moving. They're pressed.
It's just funny, that the very next day is when they were clowning on folks about doing that. It's like, well, here we are. That's how easy you can get sucked into that. Anybody can relate if you've been doing it a while.
Yeah, the passage of time, too, is really crazy to me here. And you keep saying that was yesterday, and that feels like a year ago that these people were in the kitchen doing this stuff. That's crazy talk. Crazy talk.
We start off the party, Jonathan with a BLT deviled egg, bacon jam, pimento.
Sundi has a question here.
Please.
They are making them pass their own apps.
Yeah.
That's not eating into their time, right? Like that, they get in, they pause it, and then it restarts when they get back to the kitchen.
Yes, there's no way. Yeah, especially doing this. Yeah, they've got their break is when they're delivering stuff to this intimidating crowd between the two of them.
Yeah.
That's their free time that they get,
Generous. Very generous. And Jonathan cannot help himself giving instructions on how to eat deviled egg.
So, and the lesson was off the plate, take it off the plate to eat.
Yes. Yeah, use your hands because what if they were just gonna put our face on the platter? Sir, we know how to eat a deviled egg. Calm it down. This is even after.
Peck at him like a bird with no hands sometimes.
I mean, yes, but this is even after Tom said, I hate to get instructions.
Yep.
And he can't help himself. He's like, you know what? This is a very complicated dish that has many, many steps. So I just need you to know how to do it.
Yes, I need each finger about half an inch from each other, spread wide, bend to the plate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, He gave them instructions like the next time after Tom said that also. Like, it's already happened since then, another time. Anthony with his tee crab dumpling with chili crunch and mayo also seems great. Yeah. Lawrence doing a shrimp toast, not on his own bread. Usually does his own bread, having to really slum it here. But beautiful looking little sandwich. Shrimp toast, shrimp paste, shrimp salad.
I have a theoretical question here too.
Okay.
How many times contractually are they mandated to say the product Duke's mayonnaise? Because does that compound with the times that the camera has to pan to Duke's mayonnaise, or is it a collective time, or is it we're all just freestyling? It is so much. We get it. Duke's mayonnaise.
I'm sure the B-roll was its own fun day where there's just shots of mayonnaise that they got to do. But in the meantime, with the cheftestants, I bet the, message was just push the Dukes. Like when you've got a couple plates of one thing left and you give it to one server and you're like, I need to move this. That's the same thing they're giving it to them. They're like, just push the Dukes, would you? Just mention the Dukes when you go up there, would you? Please, just push the Dukes. But it looks great. Like a great tea party looking sandwich there. Sherry pulls off the twice baked potato, the onion scallop aioli, steak tartare, crispy potato, and everybody's like, it's very okay. Which this is one of those like earlier in the year they might have like loved it. I mean, this might be a fantastic dish, but now when it's getting whittled down and it's okay, it's very like it's okay. It's kind of you gotta step it up a little bit. Unlike let's see coming up first, awesome is Oscar, your pimento cheese toaststone with country ham, especially the cotija cheese, which I love. Seeger, more deviled egg, more crab. Here's your
Tom said it looked and tasted like deep fried mayonnaise, which I mean, let's don't knock it till we try it. But they did not love Seeger. He was not in the top of that list. And I felt it in my soul a little bit when they were like, ugh. And they described it weird. How did they say it? It was
I got a grainy. I heard a grainy in there, and I don't even know what could be grainy in there. So that scares me a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't know.
When I can't go like, oh, it's probably, I don't know. It just looked very weird.
Surprising texture is not what you want for them to like bite into something and be like, oh,
No.
wow. Didn't expect that. Like that's not a positive review right there. No way.
If you're surprised and it's any word besides amazing, really, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm surprised. Like, no. Dwayne pulls off the croquette a little bit. Can't really tell. She thinks she did great, but we have two different kinds of aioli on there. So that's great. But the croquette just seems pancetta croquette seemed like it never went okay.
Oddly constructed to me as well too. It didn't seem like welcoming, that big weird like golf ball looking thing. It just did not seem welcoming to me.
And I've never turned my nose up at ham croquette before, so I don't know. This one maybe it was the way she was talking about it. Didn't click. The one I think I would like to try the most from reading it is Rhoda's. This is the oyster cracker, where the oyster actually was the cracker also, with trout dip, creme fraiche, mayo, cornichons. This sounds great to me, but a little salty for some. Okay.
Yeah, this is where I would fail as a Top Chef judge, aside from credentialing and talent and whatnot. But I would be like, I love a salty dish. Like, yes, salty is perfect, but I think that my threshold might be a little different than these classically trained people.
No, I think when they're saying it's salty, it's got to be salty. I mean, because that's the thing about this type of like if something's got salt in it, you do want to taste salt. So when it's salty and you're doing all this other stuff, she probably just put it in a couple different components and it layered up on each other. That's what I'm guessing. But it sounded awesome. And now we're seeing like the chefs go directly into dinner service. People are starting to move from after that, and I think right now is a good time for us to take a little break. So we'll be right back after this.
Okay.
All right. We are back in these chefs. are exempt. Yes.
While these chefs are back there just like killing it, these folks out there, the kind of are drinking. Like at one point, Gail just takes one right off the bar. She's like, I can have this, glug, glug, glug. Like they are just partying down. Meanwhile, these poor chefs don't know whether to wind their butt or scratch their watch. They are having a time of it.
Oh, yeah. Their jokes aren't even going with each other. They're like, is it dinner party or what? Is this a, and then the response is kind of like, yeah, I mean, is it a dinner party or what? Like, I don't know. Tell me how to live my life. What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
what in the pickled watermelon radish you got going on over there? Like, yeah, it sure is. It's a pickled watermelon radish. You're right. That's what it is.
And
Is this a
you
pillow?
can kind of
That's what
tell
I'm.
too that they are really kind of like starting to kind of just really like their emotions are just right on the surface because they start telling all these really sentimental stories, like that story that Lawrence tells about his sweet dad scolding him about his soup, but he never had to call him twice for Long Tong's soup, and it was just very sweet. And so that he's like kind of relying on some of these sentimental memories because it is Sunday supper, and you know.
I wondered something about this actually. I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm.
Like I've been watching the show for 20 years, obviously. Like I love it. And I've always thought about a bunch of chefs that do well do always harken back to like childhood, grandma, where I'm originally from, and blending that with what they do now. And I used to only think about how smart that was and what a mental capacity this person had, be able to pluck that thing by like they're so tired they're not looking to that notebook for what's new or that new
Mm-mm.
hydrocolloid ingredient they're gonna like, they need something in their core memory that's way back when, like, that broth dad made for when I was little, like, that crab dad would
Yeah,
do when he came home from work, like, the apple pancake stack my grandmother used to make, like, that stuff that got embedded when you were, like, between 5 and 14 years old that you can't shake, that's the thing, like, that
that's
soup that I'll do, like, and that's what propels them forward
yeah.
because 'cause they're, like, basically smacking themselves like, "Come on."
I thought the same thing too about how they are kind of relying on like muscle memory, and like they talk about like
Yes.
marathon runners, how you really, really learn a form early in your training days, and you have to learn how to hold your body and how you're like to run and whatever. Because when you are on the very last 2 miles of 23, your mind is going to give out and be like, "Oh my god, I can't do it." But then you can just always rely on your form, and so that's what they're doing. They are just kind of like going back into this
Yeah.
rudimentary muscle memory that they have. And I think that that is what's really successful, especially as we start to see some of the favorites later. Like, and then, Sherry even tells that story about her mother being like a single mom and, money was really tight, but her mom really made the food go really far. And so she's pulling from this idea like a little goes a long way. And I think that it is a very, very relied upon strategy to do that. And
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see later when we talk about the favorites and the least favorites that that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's like, the technique or what you intended, it's just like the only thing back there, like that's in your stem
Mhm.
and you've gotta get it out if it's gotta be something, and we keep doing the thing we do every episode, and I love it, like, they kind of show the prep in the same order they're gonna go. It makes it super easy to follow. I don't think that, it's
Yeah.
longer this year, so I hope that's helping a lot. So we start with seeing round 1.
And
Yeah.
yeah. Well, to win too, I learned a little something too. I'm always love a little like, education. But rice with butter or seasoning or salt or whatever is almost like blasphemy in Asian culture because now she is the Asian. I mean, she's the rice whisperer now, which thank God she got the grain course because what kismet is that? But I just didn't think I understood that because, in the South, when we eat rice, we just pile a bunch of butter, a bunch of salt on it. And so the idea that rice has to stand on its own was kind of a new concept to me. So I learned a little something.
But you go get even your strip mall, Asian food around here. If you get the white rice, it's just going to be plain white rice.
Oh.
And we got to
And
experience
I
some
want to say,
fluffy Carolina gold rice just the other day. Little
that's
cook
right.
challenge.
Yes,
That's
we
right.
did.
Fluffy and
I ate
buttery.
some I ate some Carolina gold rice that was banging that Jeff made me the other day. So it was real good. It was real good. Oscar is a really good narrator. And I hope, even though he didn't make it farther than this, I hope they ask him back next season to be one of the guest judges, because how fun would it be to have him on the other side of the table, removed from the stress and the stakes of it. He's just a really fun hang in the kitchen. And when he, even in his confessionals, he's talking about the experience. I find it to be really, really relatable. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I really like him. And
There's always
I,
sure, there's a winner and there's fan favorites along the way. Like Schwei from last year, you see him coming back. Of course, we could see Oscar coming back in that same capacity. I mean, those guys are just great. Dwayne's the same. I mean, there are people on here that like, oh, this person's going to be in, because you don't know. Maybe they'll come back next year. Maybe they come back 3 years from now. You know, every now and then they'll do a season where it's only people from previous seasons. So there's certain people you're like, man, I hope they do stick around. They always seem like good folks.
Rhoda calls attention to something that I was kind of noticing as well. I think maybe me and you spoke about it, but she talks about how she's already missed 3 really big challenges. And so I think she's feeling, I don't know if rusty is the way to say it, but she is feeling out of sync with the flow of the kitchen, or she's feeling like, she calls it survivor's guilt, which I'm not too sure how to contextualize that here, but there's something amiss in the way she's moving in the kitchen and the decision making that she's doing. And I'm finding it not what I remember from her earlier in the competition.
No, she's putting some worries out there for sure. Way more than she is. I think she just came back a little more hemmed in, you know, a little more sheepish than she was before. You know, she was just going at it at the very beginning. LCK, she's just stomping through, and now she's like, I don't know, like I'm just gonna get myself in my own little corner. And they're also in a new place. Like she's gone from North Carolina to South Carolina. They're in a brand new kitchen. So I think she just feels a little, maybe this episode, she's a little off kilter. Maybe she just needs, you know, one under her belt to get back out there.
Yeah, maybe she ought to go out there and get out there with Kristen and Gail, because they're getting loose. Okay,
No,
I mean,
they're wanting to get boozy. You know, it's what the fans want. That's what
it
Kristen.
is what, give us what we want. A little bit of like, you know, Gail and Kristen, you know, 2 gin martinis in, and I'm just yelling, kiss, kiss. Yes, give this fan what she wants.
Right about that is when we see that Jonathan's toast are burnt as hell, because we saw him putting them in there at the very beginning. Well, there were 56 minutes left. I noticed. I was like, what is this man doing? Like, there's no reason to get him going right then. Luckily,
JB got
Sherry
activated in that moment. JB was like, no, don't put your bread in it.
there's no reason to do it. You're going to pull it out. It's going to get to one way or the other, soggy or crispy. Just wait. But anyway, Sherry had it there to the rescue. And then he puts them in and he's like, at this point, we just can't walk away. I'm like, you couldn't have walked away the last time. But anyway, that's what you did.
I really like to, now that we are down to this kind of manageable number, that we're getting to spend more time with them in the kitchen. Before, it was like a lot of, you know, frenetic goings on. They were running around.
Yeah.
We were just sort of seeing them kind of narrate. And I just really like that we get to understand more about their style, and we get these little packages of their home life, and we get the classic Oscar saying ABC, always be seasoning.
Yeah,
Which
that's after he
found
made a giant blunder on it. Like, I mean, something got messed up and he made the best of it. But it really,
more on that later, but I found it charming.
It was. Everything he does. I mean, come on. Is this the first time you're joining us tonight? That's, to me, should be played every year when they talk about Restaurant Wars. Show Oscar greeting the table and saying that. And yeah, it made Tom roll his eyes, but he doesn't get to roll his eyes.
No, he doesn't.
So folks are finishing up. They're asking each other questions, of course. Dwayne is so happy with her fluffy and buttery Carolina Gold rice.
Yeah.
They're being
seated. You got to give it fluff.
Of course. Fluff it. Fluff that rice. Rhoda's having her trouble, like we said, trying different things out. But we start
Jonathan is so freaking proud of his decision to plate in the walk-in. If he said it once, he said it 4 times. He's going to let you know. He acts like he just invented penicillin. Yeah, he invented penicillin by walking in the freaking cold place to plate his dish. Like, sir, okay, you're not the first one on the planet.
Which I did in the walk-in, and I will tell you that before he ever started repeating it, when I saw it, I was like, I do not miss this. I've done this. I've done freezer plating. It's also one of those things that's real fun for about 5 minutes. And then if you got 100 plates left after that, it does seem to take a while. But he'll remind us, don't worry. The first round's heading out.
Mhm.
His raw course, it's the steak tartare, egg yolk emulsion, the cornichon chimichurri, which does sound great, which is like a new thing to me, and then mixed with the crispy shallots and toasted baguette, which are classic steak tartare things. So I love the old and new together. JB loves it, and it goes over real well with everybody.
Yeah.
Anthony's salad starts off great. I mean, it looks beautiful, except they had the little problem. It's heirloom tomatoes, compressed watermelon, and pickled watermelon rind with Dungeness crab, which like just looks like an old dumpling or something sitting out on the beautiful, beautiful looking tomato salad.
I was really skeptical about the combination of watermelon and crab. That's something that was never occurred to me. I've never had that. And so was that a inspired choice, or is that something that you have seen
I get
before?
that. Like tomato and watermelon salads are definitely a thing, and tomato and crab is definitely a thing. So I can see all that working, but I just
Yeah.
don't know about the cook or the plating. I think if it was maybe sprinkled throughout the dish more than just in that one piece, that seemed to throw folks visually also. It goes over okay. And then Tom, as they're walking away, gets the, you know, now for what we really think of everybody.
Yeah,
Um,
because,
and they,
salt's gotta make it weird.
Which they don't, it's not like they went into some scathing thing. They kind of just reiterate what they just said. I was like, ooh, scandalous. The tartare was okay and the heirloom tomato wasn't. Got it. Our boy Oscar starting to add rice to his dish. We'll
He's
check into that
panicking
later.
at
We'll
this
check
point.
into that later.
Yeah,
Second dish.
he's
Now
just
we're
he's feeling panic, and so he's just, like, scrambling, and we're gonna put a pin in this. He asks the grain lady,
yes, who's
okay,
cooking
to
rice?
borrow rice. That's right.
Yes.
So, let's just we'll put a pin in that to come back to, so
The timing's so funny because it's like, oh man, they're both doing rice. I can't believe it. And then the next course is Lawrence and Sherry, who are both doing corn in their dish. No one says a
Mhm.
thing. Not mentioned once.
No.
Nobody in the kitchen says it. Lawrence doesn't say it. Sherry doesn't say it. None of the judges or diners say it. But I think the difference is about, what we're about to see. It goes over great.
Yep.
Lawrence has his long tong chicken and corn egg drop soup with marinated bok choy and grilled corn. Looks awesome.
It was a
People
hit.
love it. I mean, textures are great, flavors are great, the look is great. Sherry with the seafood course, her stuffed poblano peppers, the lobster mousseline, corn ragu, and salsa verde. And right off the bat, like there's another Brazilian chef there who is
Yes.
loving it. I'm like, shut it down. That's it. I mean, what a treat for Sherry. Like to hear
What a
that. Like,
compliment,
yeah, I want to
right?
win, but if there's someone I want to impress here, that's it. She hears the thing. They love it. Huge hits. Both of these, they're so good. No one mentions that they both did corn. I love that. I can't even believe they
Yeah.
didn't mention it later.
They were
Um,
so taken by Lawrence's soup that they just couldn't bring themselves to make a comment on it. However, here comes the third course
yes.
that we get a rice dish and a rice dish.
Yeah, one of which is a grain dish, so that's great that has a seafood rice, herb salad, and a dashi Vermont, pardon me. The people from South Carolina are loving it, loving the Asian, like add on to something that's local. I mean, that's again exactly what you want to start hearing from people.
Mhm.
Our non-rice dish is Seeger. He's from Chicago and he does a Chicago classic. The chicken Vesuvio started there in Italian American. And it's like we're talking about the Sunday supper feels.
Yeah.
It can get like, I think traditionally it's more like a casserole, but I mean, we're talking chicken and potatoes. That's Sunday supper. That's comfort right there.
Mhm.
Tom, of all people, says it's perfect. Once again, I'm done. I'm at like, we're good. I'm walking out of here. That's the person you want to hear say something like that. I love it. And then comes Oscar.
Then what? Wah.
Of course, I know it's a womp womp from us. The short rib sancocho with yucca, butternut squash, carrots, and rice. Honestly, it doesn't even, unfortunately, it kind of sounded the least appealing to me, but I know he had some issues in the kitchen that it sounds like he couldn't really
Yeah.
get around.
And the Sobe guy, who has been wildly complimentary almost every course, has been just saying such nice things. He says, not my favorite. And that was kind of it. It harkens back to earlier in the season when Tom was eating something and he just pushed it away. He said, I can't eat that.
Yeah, Rhoda's
The
fist.
way, yeah, the way that man's stomach must have hit the bottom of his feet, like that was it. Like I mean, right then and there, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm out. Goodbye."
We start unbuttoning this right now.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Like, Mom, thank you very
They
much.
they don't even wait till judges. I mean, when they're talking about it, they get into the flavor. The rice, that's an issue, of course. The vegetables aren't cooked right. The broth is off. There's a bitterness to it. The spice that he's thrown into it is off. And we know a little bit about what's happened, and that kind of makes it harder, when they're tearing it apart. And you're like, but he didn't mean for all that turmeric to go in there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
By
ABC,
yourself
always
up
be
here.
seasonings.
That's right. There he goes. He pulls it out with that. Rhoda, the little girl who's got to entertain the adults at the cocktail party, comes out by herself later with that Aton mess, whipped cream fresh,
Like dance, pony
berries,
dance.
and lemon pith. She's very worried, and I mean, there's a big pastry chef from the area here.
Jeff, she tries to like put a new brand on it because she calls it a soft meringue. It's an eaten mess with a soft meringue berries. And somebody was like, what's a soft meringue, Rhoda? And she's kind of like, oh, caught. I'm caught. I was trying
She's like, I threw it. I just threw it out there. I'm going to see if you were going to bite or not. I was just going to throw it out there and see what happened. They're starting to get ready for judges' table. We see the stew a little bit, and they're drained, of course. Oscar and Rhoda are both extremely worried. Yeah.
I would like to remark on one thing that Kristen said, that she says that like the mark of a good, successful dinner party is the company. No, ma'am, it's definitely the food. Okay. The food is, don't call me over with my best friends and then give me slop. Like, I want you to feed me good. Like, if that was true, then why is this show? What are we doing? Like, goodbye. Well, this is not Friends. This is not.
Well, it's not Top Guest either.
No.
That's
right.
Top Chef,
it's not
Top Guest.
It's Top Chef. That's exactly right.
I think maybe it's because the last two things they had were Oscars and Rhodas, and it was like, well, I guess the people are fun to talk to. I don't know. Remember those earlier dishes? Those were good. Also, Oscar and Rhoda, I love you both. I hate to act like I'm clowning on you here, but they're both worried. There's a little bit of stuff that maybe could have had, Rhoda finds out Sherry had some eggs, like that. And another thing to me that says like Rhoda was just a little more, timid coming into this, like Rhoda, even episode 2 is like, who's got this? I need this. This is what's going on. Not, week 9,
If this was a different, less classy competition show, that exchange between Rhoda and Sherry, when Sherry was like, oh, dang, I had extra eggs. And Rhoda, you can just like see her neck starts to get red. She says, damn. So anyway, and like the tense and, just worried exchange.
Oh, you wanted like a housewives fight to break out here.
Yeah, I did. Of course I do. But also, I think too, when Oscar's like coping mechanism too is to chat. He's a chatter. So he's just like words and words and words and chatting and just like trying to like feel the silence. And just because he knows that feedback that he got, that
Yeah, he had his platitude a day calendar and he uses it as often as possible.
Yep.
At judges' table, they're pretty clear. The cocktail party was great. It's like, remember the cocktail party? Yeah, that seems like it was a few days ago.
Remember last week when we served cocktails?
Yeah, and guess what? There was plenty of Dukes. It's official. They did it. There was plenty of Dukes.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, their favorites, Anthony's, Oscar's, Jonathan's deviled egg. And then little Gigglebox himself, Anthony gets it, wins $10 K for his gushy dumpling, his gushy crab dumpling. But Oscar and Jonathan's very strong in that one. And then
Yeah.
right
Here we go.
to dinner party. Have fun celebrating for 1 second. Let's talk about the dinner party. We need 4 of y'all out here. And now we won't even tell you top or bottom. We're mixed among you are 2 tops and 2 bottoms. What do you think? Also a different podcast I'm working on. They start off doing the thing you love, asking Jonathan and Lawrence questions in particular, like, you know, were you going for, is that what you were going for with the tartare? You know, have you prepared it like that before?
Have you ever made corn like this before? You ever used corn in a soup? And
With
you immediately
grilled
think,
corn
oh
before?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just like, haha, psych. Just kidding.
There
You're
just
the
hasn't
top. We
been
love you.
not enough teasing going on this episode. So those are their favorites.
Don't have enough stress. Let's put on a prank on top of it for sure.
Oh, and here's where Tom, as heading up the eye roll committee on this group of family podcasts we have here, I'm removing Tom being able to roll his eyes anymore because talking about Lawrence's soup, he said, "Oh, it's all gravy from there." Well, at least it's broth. And no, that's the worst. You telling me that was worse? That wasn't worse than Oscars? Like, oh, is this y'all's first time here? No, sir. Put on your stupid hat and go walk the beach in Charleston. We'll get somebody else in here. We don't need that.
Revoked.
Lawrence wins. You know, the dish he was remembering his dad about, and that's great. And still not enough teasing around because the winner gets an advantage next time. We don't know.
But what's the advantage, Jeff?
It's a mystery. We don't know. Maybe it's good.
Love that.
Maybe it's a kick in the head. I don't really know, man. It's an advantage.
Maybe.
That's all I know.
Well, TBD on that one.
Weren't you happy with that? Didn't you just stand up for 96 straight hours cooking for us? Like, isn't that enough?
I mean, it's not worse than what they do and say to Rhoda and Oscar, though, when they get there.
Now, here's some questions. Here are some questions.
The way in which I felt just like a wave of sadness wash over me when they asked Rhoda, "What did you do for 4 hours?"
No.
Oh my God, that is just brutal because she was obviously busy and obviously it didn't come out. She's on the bottom. Like, do we have to just rub it in here? Like, just tell her. Just tell us. Just tell us.
Oh, yeah. They're taking their time to pick them apart. Like I said, even at the table, they were picking apart Oscars, you know, and then when he tries to give his, you know, explanation, it's like, no, I understand what you were going for, but like, I don't know why you did any of the things you did, such as the seasoning, the rice, and go down the list like, oh no, like I'm like, just give me the news.
Many issues.
Give me the news, please.
Yeah. The issues started with the sauce and ended with the rice, which means every single thing was terrible and we hate you. So please never come back and never show your face. Like that's the implied message here. It was awful. It was giving like, go to your room and think about what you did. And
yes, take a lap. Take a lap around downtown Greenville and then come back in here and we'll tell you to pack your knives and go. He does get told to pack his knives, and I hope he did go right to bed. I hope he went. I hope he slept for 13 hours that time.
Me too. But he stays positive. You know what? This show has many different levels of winning. Just because he didn't win in this way, there was other ways in which he gained and won. So, you know, that's a glass hat. That's a jug half full for you right there.
There it is for Oscar. Yeah, that's the friends we made along the way is what we're looking for here.
Right. I do find it strange, though, that he was in the top for the quickfire, but still was eliminated. That seems a little mutually exclusive. I know a lot of times I talk about other competition shows that are of this kind of same ilk, like Project Runway. And Project Runway sometimes will look at a more holistic picture unless the garment in question or the item in question is just so bad. So was his just so bad they could not like look at it big picture?
I think that's what we're looking at here. Yeah, I think the reason they're mentioning everything is because it was like at least Rhoda, they're like, well, it's 4 hours to do some good berries, but the berries are good. Like there was something redeeming about it, no matter what. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and also those berries, you can get macerated berries in like a minute. So it doesn't help our time case, but like we'll see
What
them
was she
again.
doing for 4 hours?
My money's on we see them again. Hopefully
Oh,
later on in the competition, they'll like need a assistant or sous chef. So they'll hopefully bring him back. And maybe I'll see you soon, Oscar. Look alive. I know you're listening.
yeah.
Look alive this week.
Ah.
We get scenes from next week, which I love because I didn't know if we were going to do it. I mentioned it earlier in our coverage. We get to do the mise en place race. I love this, like a relay
Okay.
style event where they do, random kitchen prep. Sundi has a question.
Sundi has a question.
All
I
right.
am not familiar with this term in this context. We have a similar term in my neck of the woods, like a mise en scene, but like, what does it mean? What are you mise en place in here? Which you're saying it, pronouncing it different in this context. Like, what does that mean in this way?
So
Is it,
where your station is as a chef, that's your mise en place. So like if you've cut a bunch of stuff up for do your pickups for your orders that night, like if you're picking up 6-7 dishes, all the stuff you need to complete those dishes has to be in its pan, in your cooler, on top of the, wherever you are. And so you can assemble those things together. When somebody's saying fire short rib, you got to be able to bring the meat, get the starch ready, get these vegetables going, whatever's at your station. And that's your mise en place. If you're looking for a nice pop culture reference, there's a movie called Dinner Rush from 20 some odd years ago about a restaurant in New York City having it's one night of service. It's pretty great, pretty memorable. It's got everything like the cook out back taking bets he shouldn't, who has a pregnant girlfriend, and the owner who's doing business with the mob on the side, and all kinds of romantic twists and turns. Dinner Rush, I think it's like 2001, that he
so
famously tells somebody who has a messy station to get your mise en place, get your fucking shit in its place. So that's an easy way to remember it.
okay.
Also, yeah, if you
So
want a very
translating
aggressive way to do it,
so translating into a competition, they will and it's on a boat and they're moving.
boat's new. Boat is new to the part of it. They have been
Makes sense.
outside when they do it before, but it'll be like somebody chops a bunch of onions a certain way, then the next person on the team breaks down a bunch of chickens, and then the next person has to like juice a bunch of lemons. Real basic prep stuff that everybody has to do, and it's
As
just
a
kind
way
of
to like formulate one final dish, like they're relaying to make one
possibly. Hey,
dish,
I'm not guessing on Top Chef. Who knows what they're going to do with that? They
yeah.
put Oscar on a spit for all I know.
Well, I mean, all I know is that Gail will be actively heckling these people as she like holds a sign on a boat as she like runs like by them. So, I mean, whatever it is, they're gonna get like feedback from the judges in real time here. Jeez,
Hey,
and
what's better than a judge on a pontoon boat? Come on now.
I mean, a judge in a real kitchen where it's air conditioning. That's what's better.
What's that?
But something too is bussing next week, so
That's
we're gonna
right.
get we're gonna get something good apparently.
Lots of Carolina fish in the episode, it looks like. So that's fun. I'm excited for it. And I'm also excited to see if you're ready for your rankings for this week. We're getting
Yeah.
down. We're getting down there. 7 chefs remain.
Mine, I might have some controversial rankings here in terms of
Oh,
like the
of
moving
course.
around.
Of course.
Yeah,
You have at least 2 in each category?
I do indeed. I do indeed. Are we
Okay.
starting with
Okay.
defeated?
We are. Hit me.
This is probably my most controversial pick, but I had to put Rhoda in the defeated. I think that
Oof.
either she
Yeah.
has gotten in her own head and she's got the yips, or she has like been like, her confidence has been shaken, but something is happening where she is just not going full throttle in that way. I think that's really going to hurt her. And Seeger, and this is mean. And you know what? I make no apologies. Seeger is just a very forgettable person. Like the minute he moves off my screen, I would not be able to recognize him. Like, who is this? Who is this white man cooking chicken thighs? Like, it's just he's not my guy. He's not my guy.
That could be his Insta profile right there. Just white guy cooking chicken thighs. He looks like, if I was casting like Chicago line cook, possibly executive chef, that I would cast him. No problem.
Yeah. He's an
He
extra on the
also,
bear.
yeah, unfortunately, he also is in my defeated. I had him and Jonathan Garny Poo.
Oh,
I'm in my defeated.
okay.
So one similar, one different. Next up in weeded, I dropped Rhoda from seeded also, but I put her in weeded. I have Rhoda, and everyone's strong from here on out, right? So they're all hard. But in weeded, I have Rhoda and Anthony, who are both very strong. Anthony even won a challenge tonight, but there's something about him that doesn't have next level. I don't know what it is. I don't even want to say it. I love them all at this point. So,
Well, I have Jonathan and weeded as well, but I also have Sherry because Sherry does this thing where she just kind of like lucks into being okay, right? Like it's she's never ever kind of like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had. Like, yes, her Brazilian sister did recognize it today, but like there's always something that just kind of barely puts her over the bubble. So I think she's kind of on thin ice in that way. And then, of course, Garny Poo lives in the middle, I think.
What's your top three then? Top three as of episode 9.
I have Anthony in my seated because he is like, we cannot sleep on him. He's such a really quiet presence. He delivers consistently and kind of without much like up or down, super, super interesting, wild things, but like really, really bad things. So I think that's the kind of way you could just ride the middle. But he is starting to kind of, flex a little bit in these last episodes. So I'm definitely there. And always, always, forever, my favorite in my heart is Dwayne. Dwayne/Dwayne. She is the predicted winner for me. I think Dwayne's going to be our top chef 23. You heard it here first, people.
Well, remember also, when you're voting for Dwayne, that's 2 people. So she's got an advantage because she's got the beast Dwayne inside of her. It's Dwayne and Dwayne. But Dwayne is in my seat as well. I have Sherry. I think she is very solid and inventive when she needs to be. She hasn't maybe won a lot, but I think she's near the top a lot. I think she's hanging in there very well. And also Lawrence, who I flipped back and forth on first and second tier. But as of this episode, we're going episode by episode. My top 3, Sherry, Dwayne, and Lawrence. But, at least 5 of these folks really could conceivably win to me. And that's great. That means we got a solid lineup.
Yeah. It's a horse race now, as my dad would say. Sure. So Dinner Rush was your freebie recommendation of the week.
Yeah.
I have one too that is
all right.
It's maybe a little more recent. So for all of my housewife fans out there is a very classic Beverly Hills Housewives, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode called The Dinner Party from Hell, in which Kyle Richards hosts a dinner party for all of her fellow housewives. She invites a psychic who smokes an e-cigarette, and Faye Resnick attends, and that's where she got the name, the morally bankrupt Faye Resnick. And the psychic tells Kyle Richards that her husband will never emotionally fulfill her. So it is one of the absolute most iconic hours of television, and you can Google any one of those elements, the morally bankrupt Faye Resnick, your husband will never emotionally fulfill you, dinner party from any of those, and you will get to this episode because it's good and it feels right for this energy that they delivered today. So go watch that.
So this was a dinner. They were actually at a dinner party at Kyle Richards' house. What were they eating? What did they have to eat at the dinner party?
These women don't eat. What are you talking about? Like, the food just sat there as they screamed at each other across the table. Like, are you kidding me? They would never. These women hadn't eaten.
Just seconals and e-cigarettes.
Yes, absolutely. Like, come on. So,
all right. Well, as we mentioned, thank you for that recommendation. We are both hitting the road on our respective paths. No little mini episode, I don't think, this week, but be checking back in with us on the socials. I think we may have some fun stuff coming up.
Yeah. And some content from Jeff on the road and Sundi drunk on the beach.
Yes. not to be confused with other. Don't
mix them up.
Sunday, I actually won't see you for a couple days for the first time in a while, I feel like. So enjoy. Everybody out there, thank you for listening. And as always, and all questions, comments, concerns, Jeff at Pinot Pod. I need that email, jeff@pinotpod.com. Thank you.
Yeah, don't email me.
Thanks, y'all.